Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing the highly requested planner layout and talking about everything that I do on Sundays when I start planning my weeks out for cleaning, decluttering, things that I like to check off, and things that I like to keep track of. Okay, so the first thing I like to just kind of discuss is this is a printable that I created and it is on my website, accessible to you guys. So I'll link it below. And this is just kind of like the cover. I have a little section where I talk a little bit on I color my way through my decluttering challenge. So I probably should start a new one for July. I didn't really get through June. It was a really tough month, but I might start a new one for July. It's roughly about 30 flowers here, so that should work. And there is a page that talks a little bit about hard days and basically having a backup plan of what to do when you're having a very difficult day. I like to have a clean blank one for every month because you don't know what you're going to face on that day, on that month. And so I write down things that I like to do on hard days, 3 areas that I like to tackle if I'm having a hard day, and things accomplished. So really quickly, we're going to fill this out and I'm going to show you kind of what I like to focus on when I'm writing my hard days. I like to refer back to this on the days that I cannot seem to get it together, and we're bound to have that and it's completely okay. So let's fill it in. Okay, so for things first, things I like. These are things that I like to do on really hard days. And on things that I like to do is the first one for me, it's just getting up and go for a walk. 2, I like to drink tea. And 3, I like to do my makeup. Oops. Now, obviously, on days that are really hard, I may not be able to clean everything or clean the entire house, but there are 3 things that I like to aim to clean during these times. And so the first one is going to be the trash. The second one is dishes. And the third is vacuuming the house. Why trash? Well, when trash collects itself, it can get really tough with smells, especially if you have kids with diapers or just food and just stuff like that in general. And so another thing that I like to take care of is dishes because obviously we have to cook, we have to eat. That's one of those things that like the more piles, the more anxiety you're gonna have. And then third, vacuuming. I feel like when I vacuum the floors, there's a sense of like cleanliness, just not having random dust if you have pets, pet hair, or just food from your toddlers or kids. So trash, dishes, and vacuum are things that I can aim to do on hard days. And here I leave this blank. Why do I leave this blank? Because on hard days, I like to go back and write things down that I accomplished. This is a huge way to release serotonin on those days because you want to feel accomplished. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you did something, and it doesn't make you feel as bad, I guess, for how the day went. So I leave this blank and I fill that out when I'm having a hard time. Now, at the very bottom, I like to remind myself of things that I'm grateful for. And typically, I would go into like a very deep thought of this. So I'm not going to fill it out right now because it is a very personal thing. But I want you to think of things you're grateful for, your health or your family or some peace and quiet for yourself or this new job that you had, anything that brings a lot of joy to you so that when you go back to it, you can read it and it brings a little sense of like normalcy in a way and also an urge to feel better and to kind of motivate you to keep pushing through these hard days. Okay, this is where the fun part starts. We are in July and we have little hearts here. Monday is going to be the 3rd, so I will just go ahead and start filling in my month. I break this in portions, so like here you'll see that I have Monday through Wednesday. So I like to go in and separate them from, as you can see here, Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. Most of you, if you've been following me along, know that weekends are not really my cleaning days. Those are my family days, my days to kind of touch back with myself, try to figure out where I'm at for the week, and just kind of gain back a little bit of self control over what's occurred over the week. And so, Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesdays, anything that you want to write down, whether it be appointments, things that are going on with the kids, sports related items, or just decluttering projects that you want to do. And so that's one thing I do like to have on my monthly tabs. Like, for example, here, like I said, we're going to have the third, the fourth, right? We have four. So I like to kind of write down those days. And then usually Wednesdays are my donation days, drop off. And so I just kind of write that down all throughout that. Okay, now for the nitty gritty, that everything that people have been waiting for, the weekly schedule. In this layout, you see here, you have a section to decide what room you want to tackle on that day. On Monday, the room, what you like to clean, what you like to organize, and what you like to declutter. Now, this doesn't have to fit into your schedule. I usually suggest that if you're starting off, that you start off with just the clean section. But if you feel like you are at a place mentally and energy wise, physically, that you can add some organize in the clutter, that is completely okay. If you feel like these two sections are so overwhelming, then let's not focus on that for this particular section. So let's focus on cleaning first. And then if you feel like you want to at least figure out or hear me out on how I handle organize and declutter, then just keep going on this video and I will touch base on it in a way that is not as, overwhelming. So let's work on cleaning first. First things first, I always like to start the week with bedrooms. And the reason I like to start with that is because I like to start the week with clean sheets, clean carpets, clean bedrooms. I have little ones, their toys are everywhere. And so I always think bedrooms is a good one. The second one I like to go in with is bathrooms. And that's because they cannot go too long without being cleaned or checked on. I'll go more into detail on how that works. And then the next thing I like to focus on is kitchen. Now, the reason I've broken this out in 3 days is because I don't want to be overwhelmed and I don't want you to be overwhelmed with the entirety of the week. We will tackle the entire schedule for the week, but we're going to start with just these three. Okay, so now I want you to pick 3 to 5 things that you like to tackle when you're cleaning these rooms. I like to focus always on trash for every section of the house. It is important that we don't let trash continue piling on because you never know what's in those trash bins, right? Then for bedrooms, I like to focus on floors, whether it be vacuuming or mopping. Same thing for bathrooms, and same thing for the kitchen. Now, bedrooms, I like to focus on our bedding, on washing the bedding. And I like to focus on dusting. Now for the bathrooms, I like to focus on counters and toilets and tubs or showers. And in the kitchens, I like to focus on counters, dishes, okay? These will be the main tasks that you're going to focus on when you're cleaning those rooms. You don't have to deep clean it at this first stage. You just have to make sure these areas are clean. And of course, you can change these as if you see fit to your area, your room, your needs, your family's needs. They don't have to be exact to mine, but you just have to make sure you pick 3 to 5 main things that you believe should be cleaning your house. As mentioned before, I'm not going to touch organize and declutter yet until I show you what I do for the week. We're going to move on to Thursdays, Fridays, and the weekends. Okay. On Thursdays, I like to do the living room. And on Fridays, I like to do the entryway and or hallways. And on the weekends, even though I try not to do much cleaning, I do go through the garage and the yard because I have little ones that leave all their toys out there. Okay, in the living room is the same thing. We're going to always include trash. In every section of our house, there will always be some sort of trash. And floors for the first two. And on the living room, couches and dusting. In the hallways, I always include dusting. And in the garage and the yard, I always like to include plants for yard. You know, little maintenance for the plants, flowers, whatever you may have. And for the garage, I would just say maybe the car, cleaning the car. Okay. Now, if you notice, I try not to go past the 5 mark. That can be too overwhelming. It can be too much. You still have things going on. You're still working, or a stay-at-home mom, you have things that you're doing, or, just gotta keep in mind your energy level. Now, if you've kept along this video and you think you want to tackle, organize, and declutter, I am going to give you the tips on how I manage that and how I make it so that it's not as stressful. Okay? For organize, I like to think of 2 items in each section that I can organize. And in my bedroom, I think of my closet and I think of my dresser. In my bathroom, I think of the shower items and my medicine cabinet. Now, if you don't get to these, you don't get to these. It's no big deal, but it's just things that you would like to. And maybe since you've written them down, you'll make a better effort to do these things, but also don't feel bad if you don't get to them. In the kitchen, I think of my pantry and my fridge. Let's move on to the next rooms. Same thing, you want to think of 2 items or 2 sections that you could organize. Now, you may not have 2 items or sections, and that's okay to leave it blank. So for the living room, I have toys and a desk that we use for homeschooling. For my entryway, we have shoes. And for the garage and the yard, I would say toys in the backyard. For decluttering, I like to just have 1 area per week. And for the bedroom, it's always going to be clothes. For the bathroom, it's always going to be skincare and or makeup. It's where most of the items pile up, so you don't want to let it pile up. For the kitchen, I believe it's going to be utensils and or mugs and get out of hand. Let's move on to the next days. Again, 1 item. On the living room, I don't have much really to declutter. We don't keep many things there, so I just simply do a line across like this saying that there's nothing there. In the entryway, we also don't have many things. And in the garage and the yard, I would just say toys or sports items. This is it. This is the week for me. I am probably going to get to about 70% of it. There is a lot to take into consideration. Obviously, we have a holiday coming up. We have, I'm sure, a family gathering, or there are things that the kids have to do. And so, what I like to do is come back and highlight things that I got to do and then just review it. So, if I don't get to it and it's unhighlighted, by the next week, I can go back and add it to my list because I didn't get to do it the previous week. And that is really about it, guys. And I have this template on my shop for you guys if you are interested in it. I really enjoy the simplicity of it. I have bought a lot of planners in the past and I get very overwhelmed, and it probably has to do with the ADHD aspect that I'm dealing with. I can't have too much because I feel the need to fill it out. Also, I like to write a lot, and I don't like it when tabs are too small. In my opinion, these are big enough for me to write things down, and I can highlight items, I can organize it. And so, truly, this planner was focused on being able to write realistic items. In most planners, it's like half of this little square like this, and I'm supposed to fit everything. That drove me insane. And so I hope you guys enjoy this and it made sense. Please comment your questions below. And I hope you guys enjoy it. As I mentioned, I'll have that link for you guys for this particular template. I'm hoping to be able to create more for you guys because these are really fun templates. You can print them at home. This is just a cute little binder I got from Target, and the sleeve is where I have the cover. I like that I can just kind of change everything out. I'm thinking about doing like seasonal ones where we have like a Christmas one and Halloween theme one, and those are really fun for me. It just makes me want to use it more. So keep an eye out for those. I think I'm gonna do a fall one here coming soon because the second summer hits, it's over. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.